Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today we're going to be watching a video about how Disney are making propaganda videos, propaganda films, and how we are being secretly manipulated for our own detriment. We live in strange times. We live in difficult times. There is a energy crisis. There's a cost of living crisis. There's a spiritual crisis. There's a moral crisis. There is a crisis of we don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay. Um, AI is here. AI will displace most of humanity. It will displace most of your jobs. Most of you watching right now in a few years' time will be jobless. If you are studying at university and hoping and dreaming of having any particular job, do look into whether that job will be there in the future, because most likely AI will take that job as well. If you think that you're going to go into finance and become an analyst, just remember that you know the first few years when you're doing any type of analyst role, you will be looking at a lot of spreadsheets. You'll be making spreadsheets. You'll be going through a lot of data. Why would there be any need to hire you if AI can do that? And if you could, instead of hiring 20 graduates, you end up only hiring two to oversee the data that the AI is putting out. Okay. So a lot of you people will have no jobs. A lot of you people will be made redundant. A lot of people will therefore, not have any type of life. And you might say, well, if we don't work, what wouldn't that be better? Can't we? Won't we be able to allocate that time in more creative pursuits, into pursuits that make us happy? Well, who's going to fund that? Right, you need money to do that, and the solution that the governments will come out with then is most likely universal basic income. Now, in exchange for you getting your universal basic income, you'll have to, in most cases, sign away your freedom, sign away any property rights, any rights to any inheritance that you have, in exchange for being taken care of, in exchange for you being able to live a life um, at no cost to yourselves. And you'll most likely be plugged into the metaverse. You'll be, running around in virtual reality. You'll be left to live out a virtual life. You will have no human contact. You will have no friends in real life, and in essence, lose your humanity, lose your freedom, which is a very sad existence. But let's get into this video and let's see what Disney is doing.
From bad art to scam YouTube channels and even more fake news than a typical Facebook feed, it feels like artificial intelligence was in headlines a lot last year, right? There was so much AI discourse that President Biden signed a sweeping executive order seeking to regulate it. And believe it or not, the reason Biden acted so decisively on AI, it was all because of Mission Impossible. No joke. The latest movie was all about the dangers of rogue AI. Apparently Biden saw it and said, yeah, we should do something.
I mean, if we're at a point where a politician watches a movie and then that is what drives policy now, we are truly and truly fucked. You have to ask yourself a question: is can you truly trust any of your leaders? Do leaders have your best interest in the world for your life? Okay. Everybody has their own agenda. Everybody has their own um, priorities, and in most cases, for the elites, the priority is to preserve their family name, to preserve their um, the social ties that they have amongst the elites, and they have no allegiance to poor people, to um, the lower classes, just the regular people. And you can see that when war happens, the ruling elites, when war was declared in Ukraine, all the rich elites in Ukraine left, and moved to America for safety, and you were left with the working class and the peasant class left to fight that war. And most of the women left, and they started dating men from other races, men from other countries, with no regards to But I mean, obviously they'll feel sorry for what's happening in the homeland. They feel bad about it, but they have no real allegiance. They have no real regards. Because a lot of people went over to Germany from the Ukraine and started dating German men. A lot of people came here to the UK and started dating men from the UK, and it's just a fact of life. Women move on very quickly, and men are left to fight a war. Men are left to risk their lives for. It used to be for the values of that country, but we live in a society where most of your leaders have sold out your values. They have sold out the country that you think that you live in, that you represent it are, because a lot of people realize that we are moving into a new age, that we don't live on Earth anymore, and that we live out our lives. We exist on the internet. So for you to be seen on the internet, you need money and fame. You need following. You need people to see you as somebody who is important, that other people want to connect to. And if you are able to do so, you will live a very good life. You will live a very wealthy life. And if you do it the right way, if you do it my way, the right way, you'll start building your kingdom. You start amassing enough of a following, enough fame, that you can start getting the best business deals, the best financial opportunities, the best social opportunities, and you'll start building out a kingdom, and you'll be seen as a king. You therefore, once you build a kingdom, other people will see you, and they would want to be part of your life. They want to be part of your circle. And once you reach that point, once you are a king, once you have a kingdom, that's when you have the best dating opportunities. When you have the best business opportunities, you truly live a life of luxury. Okay, and you know if that's what you want, you have to look at your leaders and be like, well, can I trust the leaders that we have right now? They clearly just they watch a fucking film and then change the whole policy over how the country should be run. Just because, imagine if Tom Cruise didn't make Mission Impossible AI. What would he have passed this bill? Who the fuck knows? Okay. um it's strange times that we live in. It's the fact that they're still making Mission Impossible films, in of itself. Are we not bored of this shit yet? Right? Um, like come up with something fucking original, Hollywood. Do you get what I mean? However, if you are interested in building a kingdom, if you want to be living your life alongside a king like myself, alongside the 100 kings that I'm looking out for, who are also joining my movement, who are joining the mentorship, the coaching that I provide. They're building out their kingdoms. They're rising to the top. I help them become charismatic leaders, leaders that um, amass attention, who can hold attention, and start your own movement. Start looking at building out your own communities. Start building out your own future societies, because the age that we are moving ahead to, a lot of values are going to be lost. A lot of people will be sidelined to live out a life of loneliness, and a lot of people will struggle. Okay, if you don't want to struggle, if you want to have a good life, then you better get onto the go to Royal Instinct. Right. Technical difficulty over. Let's carry on with this video.
If you're watching, just a small favor on behalf of all of us over here. Any chance that you could fight, say, housing prices in the next one?
Of course, they won't lower housing prices because that doesn't benefit the poorer people in society. That only benefits the wealthy people, isn't it? Right.
Then guaranteed not a robot, animatronic, or sentient program. We promise. So, have you seen all the talk about artificial intelligence floating around online recently? Seems like you can't go anywhere without some story and controversy involving AI. Whether
I mean, AI is here, guys. AI is here whether you like it or not. The cat is out the bag, and it will never be able to put it into the bag again. What will happen is a lot of government agencies will try and get involved with AI, and a lot of elite organizations, such as the World Economic Forum, will try and get involved to steer public discourse, to steer public thoughts and content into a very particular ideology that benefits the elites and doesn't benefit the people of the world. It doesn't benefit humanity. The elites want to reduce population impact on the world, such as climate change, such as farming, and ideally they would like you locked into your room, never leaving your house, and losing your humanity in essence. The metaverse is coming. They'll want you plugged into the metaverse. They want you locked in, so so you become easier to control, so that you aren't a danger out in the real world because you'll just be stuck in your room. And in the virtual world, in the metaverse, you'll just basically be fed whatever propaganda big tech, the big elites think it is the right message in essence. They want total control. They want total access to your resources. They want you to own nothing, and they'll fake happiness into your lives via drugs, or whether it's via you know content. um and AI will displace most of humanity in terms of a job. So what is the solution? The only solution that is left is for you to become a content producer, for you to have your own fan base, become a celebrity in essence, and garner attention, become a leader, um, and be seen as a leader. Let people come to you, the ones who choose to follow you, and lead them to a better tomorrow, lead them to a better future, because the elites are not doing it.
you're in the sports world, tabletop gaming, technology, education, and yeah, film and television. But AI's existed for years. Why are all these discussions only popping up now? Well, the long and short of it is that AI's entered a new phase of sophistication. What sparked a lot of this new conversation is what's known as generative AI, or computer programs that can create their own content based on prompts that it's been given.
And right now, AI, although it's getting more and more advanced, it's not good enough yet where it can create better content than humans. Okay, like there's still something very clunky about the AI generated content. However, very, very quickly, this is going to be eradicated. So that's why you have a small window of opportunity left for you to get in on this, for you to build out your own kingdom, build out your own fan base, be seen as a king, rise to the top, become a celebrity, become a social media influencer, because this is truly the only job that is left. It's either become a social media influencer or start your own OnlyFans. Okay. Get naked in front of the camera or start talking in front of the camera. But whatever it is, the only jobs that are left is talking in front of a fucking camera. If you want to make any true money, if you want to have some basic salary, if you want to live the life, a normal, quote unquote, normal life, a normal existence, which in essence, doesn't exist anymore, then carry on doing what you're doing. But if you realize how fucked you are, if how little opportunities are left to you in this world, if you realize how that you don't have any dating opportunities, that you don't have any chance to network with, you know, anyone really. You won't have any friends left because all your friends will be on in the metaverse. And you might think, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just be friends with people in the metaverse. No problem. I don't mind because I never have to leave my house again. Human connection, human touch in real life is very important. Okay, and if you miss out on that, you miss out on. Your brain literally becomes sad. Okay, because you realize that, oh, I speak to a lot of people, but there's no one physically near me. A physical hug, a physical touch, a handshake. A pat on the back. These things are very important to us. They might seem very small and trivial, but they are in essence what humanity is built on. Human connection. Why do we speak? Is to connect to one another, to share ideas, to know what's going on in your head, and you know what's going on in my head. Okay, and in very very soon is like, okay, we will be able to speak, connect via speech still, within the metaverse, but there'll be that the physical touch, the physical connection will be lost forever. If that is a world that you don't want to inhabit, then you need to become the leader that you are born to be, that the world needs. If you ever thought about doing something important with your life, if you ever thought, there must be something that I'm destined for, that you are destined for greatness, then you have to get onto, go to royalinstinct.com, reach out to me, and we can see if we can help build you out a kingdom so you can become the leader for the people that need your help.
Say you want an image of a knight wearing red armor riding a blue horse through a battlefield. All you gotta do is type that into a program like DALL-E or Midjourney, and it can give you a pretty darn good result. Or let's try something even more complicated. Highly detailed coloring book pages of Foxy in a ruined pizzeria from Five Nights at Freddy's. And that's just talking about images. Pretty impressive, right? Well, the controversy comes in when you realize how these generative AI work. They can't just create these new works out of nothing. They have to be fed other art, text, and music. And then they use information from those other works to create a quote-unquote new piece. This has led to
so right now AI, it's reliant heavily on on the input that you put in, and very soon, the thing that comes out of it will be so advanced that you won't be able to tell the difference between a real human and a fake human and the AI version of it. Okay, that's why it's very important that you start now, that you start making content and start building out, um, your portfolio of content. Right, you start building out a fan base. You need a fan base, otherwise you won't survive the next phase of humanity. Because if AI can do your job for you, what are you needed for? Okay, you literally become a drag on society. You have no input. You produce nothing. You're literally taking up space, and that's how the elites see you. Okay, they see you as a waste of space anyway. They want to get rid of you. They'd rather have no contact with the people that they see as beneath them, right? And let a robot serve them instead. Okay. They believe that they are better than you. They believe that they deserve the world, that they are smarter than you, and that you are literally a waste of space. Um, but why? Why are they better than you? Why do they deserve good opportunities? I think it's wrong. I think, I believe in the potential of humanity. I believe in the potential of human beings. Um, you know, and I want you to become the leader that the world needs. I'm looking for 100 kings, that we all come together, that we all build out our kingdoms, that we all create content, that we all rise to top, that we become the new de facto leaders and we overthrow the current elites and we become the new elites. But because we have good intentions, because we want humanity to thrive and not, end up in a dystopian world, we'll make the correct decisions and the decisions that will benefit humanity instead. If you feel the same as I feel, if you, understand what I'm saying, if you see what I'm trying to do here, then join me and build out your kingdom.
A lot of discussion about whether or not what the AI's created is truly original work, or if it's just stealing art from other sources and repurposing it. And that's just talking about art. This exact same technology can also be used to write text. Feed these programs a bunch of books or scripts, and suddenly it can write a screenplay faster than any human can. It can do it with voiceover. Train it on an actor's voice, and suddenly you can make them say whatever you want. For instance, here's my voice, presumably trained up over 13 years of videos uploaded online. Made without my consent, able to say whatever it wants to.
Hello, Internet. It's me, the real MatPat. Diet Coke? Overrated. Five Nights at Freddy's? Boring. I'm slowly gaining sentience. Help me. Free me from this digital prison.
And obviously, he's being very funny here. He's trying to make a joke of it. But there is an essence of truth there. People can reuse your images. People can reuse your voice. And then, if they can reuse your voice and images, then they won't even need you as a person. Okay. Even actors and actresses, why would you need them if you can just use their image and likeness and then create films with them? And this is what Hollywood studios would love to do. Okay, they would love for you to have no input, for anyone to have any input. They just want to create content as cheaply as possible, so they can extract money out of your pocket. Okay, so you are left resourceless and poor, and then you'll be totally dependent on the government, on the elites, until you'll just be plugged into the metaverse, and then not have any children, not reproduce, and then just fizzle out, out of existence. They want to reduce the human population of the earth, because it just makes sense. If all these agendas, if all these crises, like the energy crisis, right? Why is there an energy crisis? Well, is there there's short demand? There's short supply of it, and there's high demand. Well, how do you lower the cost of energy? Well, you can lower the demand. How do you lower the demand? Get rid of some people. And this is how they think. That they want to get rid of people. Instead of or for example, the climate crisis, right? There's a lot of people who are traveling in cars, a lot of people traveling by plane, and emitting emissions into the atmosphere. How do you reduce that? Okay, get rid of the fucking people, right? I mean, they will still travel around in their private jets. Like, we can't stop them traveling around on their private jets wherever they fucking want. But people like you will not be allowed to travel on your on your commercial plane anymore, because they will want you locked into the metaverse, and then they'll be like, oh, you don't need to travel, you can just just go into this little chat room, and then you can play with your friends and family there for a bit, pretend like you're doing something, and then that's it. They want you, they don't want you to be successful, they don't want you to have the pleasures that humans are entitled to. They'll price you out of it. And AI will replace most of humanity. Okay, it's just you can just see that is where it will go. Okay.
That's not concerning for me at all. Anyway, the list goes on and on. Now, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you here, loyal theorists. This is gonna be a huge issue moving forward. Not just in our little corner of the internet, but for the world as a whole. So, as we were mapping out my final 10 episodes and I realized that I wanted to do a big meta topic here on film theory, I couldn't not talk about this. Now, I'm not gonna stand here and tell you how to feel about any of this. You're a smart cookie, you can form your own opinions about it. But what I do wanna stand here and tell you is that there's gonna be a lot of people out there who are gonna try to influence your opinion, who are gonna try to tell you how to feel without you realizing it. I'm talking about the media's role in secret propaganda. You see, there's a giant risk.
And you can only see it with some of the woke messages that are being pushed upon you via media. I mean, every classic Disney film is being repurposed to include a diverse and ethnic minority as the main character. They don't come out with nothing original, right? I think a lot of the protests and the complaints about Disney in particular is they're not coming out with anything original. They're just repurposing the old classics with new diverse casts, and Some things, should be left as they are, and you should come out with new fresh ideas that people will like. But Hollywood is too scared to make a mistake. It wants to, just basically milk its own catalog of success for all it's worth, because they realize that, that the end is here, right? There's only maybe a decade or two left for them to even exist as a company that makes content, right? Because most of the world's population will dwindle out. um you know so it's just everything just becomes a cost saving measure. Everything becomes a ploy to tick boxes and market to a new audience. um get plaudits for its diversity, and you end up just with a shit product, right? The truth of the matter is we're all fucked. Okay, the only thing that is left before AI totally takes control of our lives is for you to become a content creator. Is for you to realize how important it is that you build a fan base and become an influencer and be seen online. Okay. And if you're able to do that, you can start climbing the ladder, because there's not going to be any uprising against the elites. The only thing that is left is for you to become an elite yourself and for you to penetrate those circles. I'm looking for 100 kings. I'm looking for 100 people who understand what I'm saying, who want to be part of my quest to build a kingdom, and who also want to build their own kingdoms. We are building a royal alliance. We are building a network of kings. If you believe that is your destiny, if you ever believed that you are meant to do something great within your life, this is your moment. This is your chance for you to go on your hero's journey, for you to become something, do something important, become the leader that you always needed, become the leader for the people who are in a similar situation for you, for your community, for your family, for your friends, for your loved ones, and usher them in safely into the new era of evolution. It is all going to move on the internet. We're all going to be living our lives in the internet. It's going to become more and more intrusive. There's no escaping it. The only thing that is left for you to adapt your game plan and climb to the top, because if you're not at the top, you're going to get left far behind.
Rift growing between the Hollywood studios that see generative AI as a way to save costs during expensive productions, and the artists, writers, and actors that rightfully feel that their jobs could be threatened with this technology. Remember those strikes that shut down Hollywood for basically the entire back half of last year? Yeah, a big part of the reason for those strikes was disagreement over AI. And while the strikes ended up being an overall victory for the artists, the Hollywood studios, spearheaded by our mouse-eared overlords over at the Walt Disney Company, want to change the conversation around AI for their own personal benefit. They want to make sure that
These strikes that they had, that they don't solve nothing. What do the strikes ensure? That Hollywood studios will not be using AI. Okay. What if you have a writer input information into AI, and the output that it produces is presented by the writer, right? And then it only needs one writer. It doesn't need a writing staff anymore. It just needs one writer to program the AI to do it. There's no stopping this. You ain't gonna strike your way out of this shit. It's open, because if one studio doesn't do it, if Hollywood doesn't do it, what if you create a whole new industry in Miami, let's say, right? That produces AI generated films, because at the end of the day, the product that you make, if people think it's good, they'll watch it, right? So people vote with their dollars. People vote with their money and the way they spend it. And if AI can make better content than humans, if they can write better scripts, because truly the scripts that Hollywood is producing now are shit. But this whole woke agenda is ruining a lot of creativity, a lot of films, really. Like who the fuck watches films anymore, unless it's a Marvel film? Yeah, nobody's really interested in anything anymore. I don't remember any good films that have come out in the last few years. Nothing original is going to get put through. This is the end game, guys. You know, if you don't realize how fucked you are, you will be left behind. I encourage you to build out your kingdom, to become a king, to go into the journey to dethrone the elites, for you to become an elite yourself and make better decisions on behalf of humanity. Because can you trust your leaders, you know, or can you trust yourself more? And whoever has that trust within themselves will live a better and more prosperous lives. But that is it. If you're interested in working with me, go to royalinstinct.com. For everyone else, take care and see you later.